Academy of Diet and Fitness.
Chapter 4. Protein Metabolism. Protein Metabolism. Protein metabolism encompasses the breakdown, synthesis, and utilization of proteins in the body, supporting vital functions like enzyme catalysis, structural support, immune response, and hormone regulation. Here are the key aspects of protein metabolism. Protein digestion. Dietary proteins undergo digestion, starting in the stomach with pepsin-breaking peptide bonds. In the small intestine, pancreatic proteases like trypsin and chymotrypsin further break down proteins into smaller peptides and amino acids. Amino acid absorption. Amino acids are absorbed into the bloodstream through specialized transporters in the small intestine's lining. They then travel to the liver via the portal vein for further processing. Protein synthesis. Anabolism. Protein synthesis, crucial for growth and tissue maintenance, involves assembling amino acids into new proteins. Governed by genetic information encoded in DNA, it entails transcription (DNA) to mRNA and translation mRNA to protein. Ribosomes, tRNA, and enzymes facilitate this process. Protein breakdown, catabolism. Protein catabolism, the breakdown of proteins into amino acids, serves multiple roles, including energy production, removal of damaged proteins, and recycling amino acids for new protein synthesis. This process, mainly through proteolysis, involves the action of protease enzymes. Amino acids utilization. Energy production. Amino acids, following deamination to remove the amino group, can undergo oxidation for energy production. Their carbon skeletons can enter metabolic pathways like the citric acid cycle to generate ATP. Protein turnover. Amino acids can be used for the synthesis of new proteins to replace damaged or old proteins. Biosynthesis. Amino acids serve as building blocks for synthesizing various molecules, including hormones, neurotransmitters, nucleotides, and non-protein nitrogenous compounds. Gluconeogenesis. Certain amino acids can be converted into glucose through gluconeogenesis, primarily occurring in the liver. This process is vital during fasting or when carbohydrate intake is limited. Nitrogen balance. Protein metabolism regulates nitrogen from amino acids. Nitrogen balance reflects intake versus excretion. Positive balance occurs with intake surpassing excretion, as in growth. Negative balance arises when excretion exceeds intake, as during starvation. Role of proteins in immune function and repair. Role of proteins in immune function. Antibodies. Antibodies or immunoglobulins are proteins made by B cells in response to foreign substances called antigens. They bind to antigens, marking them for destruction by the immune system to combat pathogens like bacteria and viruses. Cytokines. Cytokines are proteins that facilitate cell signaling and communication within the immune system. They regulate immune responses by coordinating the actions of immune cells to combat infections and inflammation, controlling their intensity and duration. Complement system proteins. The complement system comprises proteins that synergistically enhance immune responses. These proteins can directly eliminate pathogens, attract immune cells to infection sites, and aid in phagocytosis, bolstering the body's defense against invaders. Major histocompatibility complex (MHC) proteins. MHC proteins play a vital role in presenting antigens to T cells, enabling them to identify infected or aberrant cells and initiate targeted immune responses. Toll-like receptors (TLRs). TLRs or toll-like receptors play a crucial role in recognizing specific components of pathogens. Upon binding to these pathogenic elements, TLRs trigger immune responses to neutralize the invaders. Role of proteins in tissue repair. Structural proteins, collagen, elastin, and fibronectin are vital for tissue structure and elasticity. Collagen especially supports connective tissues like skin, tendons, and cartilage, providing strength. Enzymes. Enzymes catalyze biochemical reactions, in tissue repair, aiding in the breakdown of damaged tissues and initiating regeneration. Growth factors. Growth factors are proteins that regulate cell division, migration, and differentiation, crucial for tissue repair and regeneration. They promote the proliferation and differentiation of repair cells. Immunomodulatory proteins. Certain immune proteins like cytokines and chemokines aid in tissue repair by coordinating inflammation, recruiting immune cells, and facilitating tissue healing. Clotting factors. Proteins like fibrinogen and thrombin are vital for blood clotting, essential for wound healing and preventing excessive bleeding. Importance of amino acids in human health. Amino acids are vital for human health as they form the building blocks of proteins, essential for proper bodily function. Here are some of the key importance of amino acids in human health. Protein synthesis. Amino acids are vital for synthesizing proteins, which are crucial for biological functions such as enzyme activity, cell structure, signaling, immune response, and hormone regulation. Without amino acids, the body would lack the diverse range of proteins necessary for proper physiological processes. Tissue growth and repair. Amino acids are crucial for tissue growth, repair, and maintenance, especially during periods of growth like childhood and adolescence. They also aid in tissue regeneration after injury or illness. Enzyme function. Enzymes, often protein molecules, depend on specific amino acid sequences for their catalytic activity. They are essential for facilitating biochemical reactions, and without amino acids, enzyme production is disrupted, leading to metabolic process impairment. Neurotransmitter production. Amino acids synthesize neurotransmitters, transmitting signals in the brain and nervous system. These chemicals regulate mood, cognition, and brain function. Hormone regulation. Certain amino acids like tyrosine and tryptophan serve as precursors for hormones in the endocrine system. Tyrosine contributes to thyroid hormone synthesis, while tryptophan is a precursor for serotonin, a neurotransmitter impacting mood and sleep. Immune function. Amino acids are required for the production of immune system components such as antibodies and cytokines, which play a crucial role in defending the body against infections and diseases. Energy production. Amino acids can be converted into energy when carbohydrates and fats are not available or insufficient. This process is especially important during times of fasting or prolonged exercise. Detoxification. Some amino acids, such as glutathione, play a critical role in the detoxification of harmful substances and protecting cells from oxidative stress. pH regulation. Certain amino acids act as buffers, helping to maintain the body's pH balance and prevent extreme fluctuations in acidity or alkalinity. Transport and storage. Amino acids are involved in the transport and storage of nutrients, such as the transport of nitrogen in the form of urea for excretion. Nitrogen balance in protein metabolism. Nitrogen balance is a measure of the equilibrium between nitrogen intake and excretion in the body, reflecting protein status and dietary protein adequacy. Positive nitrogen balance indicates intake exceeds excretion. Negative balance suggests the opposite, while balance implies equilibrium. Here is an overview of nitrogen balance in protein metabolism. Nitrogen intake. Dietary protein consumption contributes primarily to nitrogen intake. Proteins are digested into amino acids, which are absorbed and utilized by the body. The nitrogen content of dietary proteins reflects the ingested nitrogen amount. Nitrogen excretion. Nitrogen excretion primarily happens through urine as urea, though it can also occur via feces, sweat, and other bodily fluids. Urea is the main waste product from amino acid breakdown, eliminating excess nitrogen. Nitrogen balance states. Positive nitrogen balance. Positive nitrogen balance arises when nitrogen intake surpasses nitrogen excretion. It suggests the body retains more nitrogen than it expels, common during growth, pregnancy, muscle building, or recovery from illness. Positive balance indicates anabolism and protein synthesis, vital for tissue repair and maintenance. Negative nitrogen balance. Negative nitrogen balance arises when nitrogen excretion surpasses nitrogen intake, indicating protein breakdown and catabolism. It occurs during inadequate protein intake, prolonged fasting, severe illness, or intense physical training without sufficient nutrition. In such scenarios, the body resorts to breaking down its proteins for energy or vital functions, leading to a net loss of nitrogen. Equilibrium or zero nitrogen balance. Equilibrium or zero nitrogen balance occurs when nitrogen intake matches nitrogen excretion, indicating a balance between protein intake and utilization. This state is typically observed in healthy individuals with stable protein status, signifying a balance between anabolic and catabolic processes. Determining nitrogen balance. Nitrogen balance can be estimated by comparing nitrogen intake and nitrogen excretion. Nitrogen intake is assessed through dietary protein intake, while nitrogen excretion is often measured by analyzing urea nitrogen levels in urine samples. The variance between intake and excretion indicates the net nitrogen balance. Nitrogen balance is a crucial aspect of protein metabolism, but it's not the sole determinant of overall protein needs. Factors like health status, physical activity, and specific nutritional requirements also influence protein intake and requirements.